The tall, lean, and dark figure of Nightmares made a massive impact on the internet and beyond for many years. The emergence of Slenderman inspired games, movies, fueled nightmares, and even created a near murder. Let's look at the story behind one of the most impactful creepypastas in history and understand how a simple image can infinitely move beyond a community itself.
And I'm still running from my demons, and I just need someone I believe in. Will you wait for me while I'm still healing?
Surprisingly, Slenderman has an exact birth date. Unlike other creepypastas and urban legends, they have rough accounts of when they were made. It's the 10th of June in the year of 2009. Eric Knudsen, a Florida man, is busy photoshopping some images ready to post into the Something Awful forums for a contest launched by a user on the website encouraging users to post paranormal pictures. Eric had been a frequent user of the Something Awful website, which is one of the oldest and largest forums pages still in existence, dating back to 1999. Eric, like other users, were expected to turn normal photos into creepy, paranormal style images for this contest. Running off the screen name Victor Surge, he posted 2 images of unknown children with a strange, thin, dark and tall looking creature menacingly lurking in the background. The creature was named in a short description Eric had put alongside the images. This name would unknowingly start the worldwide sensation known as Slenderman. The very next day, Eric decided he liked his creepy idea of this slender looking man that stalks children, that he improved on the myth even more. A new image was posted with the creature apparently caught at a police station. The image was backed with a statement regarding the incident. Another user, LeechCode5, decided to back up Eric's myth with his own images to the forum. Leech's post involved a burning building with the tall figure being the culprit of 9 missing teens. Trenchmore, yet another user, asked permission within the forums from Eric to use Slenderman in his own story. Slenderman very quickly became a staple of the entire contest, and many users were creating their own images and backstories. The original thread on Something Awful still exists today and is 46 pages long. There is an argument that an amateur video game series called Mythos may have inspired Eric, as there is a main villain that's referred to as the Tall Man. This villain has a collared long black cloak and a pure white face with absolutely no facial features, looking eerily similar to Eric's Slenderman. People have also argued that Slenderman was around way before Eric created and posted it on Something Awful. Grossman, a German folklore, speaks of a very tall boogeyman creature. Origins of this dates back to the 16th century. This in fact was the folktale that inspired Ben Croshaw, the creator behind the game Mythos, to implement this tall man villain. So maybe Eric was only an emitter for this whole Slenderman sensation. 4chan, an image board known for its memes, not safe for work content, and its users doing typical internet anorak behaviour, actually helped the spread of Slenderman. The earliest known mention was back in 2009, soon after Eric posted his version of Slenderman. Huge amounts of fan art, memes, and image manipulation started popping up everywhere, spreading to other websites like DeviantArt, Wikibin, and Fangoria. At the end of June, YouTuber Marble Hornet started a new web series called Entries. The series claimed to contain lost footage of a friend who since vanished. Entry 6 had a particular creature seen lurking on the other side of a window, which led the internet to the eventual understanding that 2 film students, originally members of Something Awful, had gone into creating a full ARG surrounding Slenderman. This series alone eventually amassed millions of views, as well as 3 seasons of the series. An entire fanbase surrounded the ARG, which in turn led to the $20 Slenderman meme. Brett824 uploaded his own parody video from the ARG featuring the tall man spying in the window with Ron Bro's $20 song playing. This became a hit in the Slenderman fanbase, and it actually gave an interesting theory as to why Slenderman was chasing you. You guessed it, for $20. Many comments suggested this video alone single-handedly cured their deepest fears of Slenderman. The meme was added later as a mode to the game Slenderman, the 8 pages. BBC's Doctor Who featured a fictional religious order of aliens designed very similar to Marble Hornet's version of Slenderman, with black neckties and coat with that same white shirt and face, first seen in the Impossible Astronaut episode. The BBC never commented on whether or not it was inspired by Slenderman, but the resemblance, as many stated, is far too similar. July 26, Notch, the creator behind Minecraft, announces some new creatures coming to the game. One particular among them had an uncanny name and representation of the one and only. Yep, you guessed it. Endermen today are a vital part of a player's quest to reach the end. Without the Ender Pearls you obtain after killing Endermen, one cannot create the Eyes of Ender, a vital item needed to reach the end world. But wait, 4chan had to put in its 2 cents, of course. Or should I say $20? A petition was launched to change the name from Enderman to Farlanders because the name was too similar to Slenderman, but of course, this petition failed. Moving forward to October of 2011, indie game developer Green Meteor Team submitted a 3D adventure game to the game site 64 Digits, featuring Slenderman as the primary antagonist. This alone is what we call the video game saga of Slenderman. Another year has passed and Redditor GetSuckin' submitted a horror game to the indie gaming subreddit, linking a Mac and Windows downloadable link to a game by Parsec Productions called Slender. The game was simple. Collect 8 pages in a dark forest whilst avoiding Slenderman. If you get too close, your screen begins to flicker with a horrible noise and you have to run away before he catches up to you. July 2nd of 2012, our very own PewDiePie uploads his playthrough of the game, bringing international attention and a huge cult following of the game that literally broke the developer's website where people could download the game. Luckily for the developer, PC Gamer and Kotaku uploaded the free game download link to continue distributing. Thereon after, PewDiePie continues to upload other fan-made games of Slenderman, which steams the fanbase even more. By 2014, Slenderman has reached just about every corner of the internet. Just about every man, woman, and his dog knows of this creature. Slenderman has gone from a creepy image to a trendy man who made people laugh at literal memes. Minecraft's Enderman has now been released with update 0.9. Slenderman has made an appearance in Skrillex's Equinox. Goat Simulator has released an unlockable goat called Slender Goat, and Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare features Slenderman standing in a forest in one of the map's backgrounds. CW's show Supernatural features Slenderman in an episode called Thin Man. Family Guy continually references the Tall Menace along with hundreds of other indie games and titles referencing the creature. Waukesha, Wisconsin. The date is May the 31st of 2014. 3 teenage girls are having a sleepover for one of their birthdays. Morgan Geyser is allowed 2 friends each year, and this year she picked Peyton Leitner and Anissa Wire. At some point in the day, the girls decided it would be a good idea to go for a walk in a wooded area near David's Park to play a game of hide and seek. Turns out Morgan and Anissa had plotted something evil earlier on that they were going to do to their friend Peyton. A man riding his bike soon discovers the horrific scene of Peyton, who has been stabbed 19 times in the arms, legs and torso. Later in the day, Morgan and Anissa are discovered sitting on the side of a freeway 4.9 miles away, covered in Peyton's blood. The girls claim they were heading for Slenderman's mansion in the Nicolet National Forest, which is an astonishing 200-mile hike from where they committed the atrocities. Amazingly, Peyton survived the attack and left hospital 7 days after the incident, returning to school in September. Both girls were sentenced in an adult court, with Anissa Wire pleading guilty to attempted second-degree intentional homicide, but was found not guilty due to mental disease. Instead, she was given 25 years to an institution, serving only 7, being released in 2021. Morgan Geyser pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree intentional homicide, but was also found not guilty by reason of mental disease and was given 40 years in an institution. Morgan suffers from schizophrenia and psychotic spectrum disorder, making her prone to delusions. Morgan to this day continues to request a release. October of 2019, Peyton speaks publicly for the first time about the incident on ABC's 2020, which can be viewed on YouTube.
Do you feel like you're a survivor?
Yeah, I shouldn't be alive. I really shouldn't after what happened.
Slenderman has always been the main blame by the girls for this grisly attack, showing us how something made up from a simple image can lead to detrimental disasters. Due to this incident, Slenderman was pushed way away from the spotlight, and there was a hard push to kids and parents, teaching them about how fictional characters should not be seen as reality. Eric Knudsen himself responds to the incident stating, "I'm deeply saddened by this tragedy in Wisconsin, and my heart goes out to the families of those affected by this terrible act." The idea was raised on whether children should be even reading these creepypastas or looking at these images on other websites at all, and has actually been an ongoing topic ever since. After all this, Slenderman did die down hugely and wasn't spoken about anymore really on the internet at all. However, in 2016, Sony Pictures actually announced a Slenderman movie that's to be shot in Boston in the summer of 2017, and in early 2018, the first trailer was dropped. The father of Anissa Weier protested the movie, calling it extremely distasteful. Certain theaters chose not to show the film out of respect for those involved with the Wisconsin crime. Regardless, it went ahead and barely made more than the cost of making it. People believe it's due to the lack of theaters hosting it and people knowing it led to some real life horrors. This sealed Slenderman in his coffin, and since then, there has been little to no mention of the once internet sensation. It's very rare for a figure of the internet to gain so much attention, but Slenderman was one of the biggest. Characters like Siren Head by Trevor Henderson were inspired by the same type of image creation that made Slenderman. Siren Head also went viral the exact same way. We can also see the resembling tall figure to Slenderman that is clearly an overpowering figure of our nightmares. Analog horror also heavily stems from Slenderman's ARGs, especially Marble Hornet's internet series. There's no denying that Slenderman is the birthplace of a lot of horror that we see on the internet today. Despite the tragedies that struck the final nail in the coffin for him, there is a level of respect that needs to be given to the tall, dark creature, as he gave the internet its first taste of what can happen when minds come together to create a mythological creature and story that makes waves across the world. Slenderman will forever be sealed into the history of the internet.